I used to work night shifts at a gas station just off the highway, middle of nowhere. I was 19, needed the money, and the manager didn't care if I sat behind the counter scrolling on my phone. The place was quiet most nights. A few truckers, a local or two, sometimes the occasional sketchy drifter. But one week, the week before Halloween, something happened that made me quit on the spot. It started with the knocking. The first night, it was around 2:30 a.m. I was alone, counting scratch-off tickets behind the counter when I heard 3 sharp knocks on the glass door. Not like a customer knock, this was slow, deliberate. I looked up, no one there. I figured maybe it was the wind, even though it wasn't stormy. I went outside, looked around the pumps, nothing, just the quiet hum of the overhead lights and the chirping of crickets. Second night, same thing. This time, it was louder, same 3 knocks. I turned around instantly, again, no one there. Now I was starting to feel like someone was messing with me. We had a single camera pointed at the front entrance, so I rewound the feed, but there was nothing, no one approaching the door. Just me, reacting to nothing. By the third night, I started keeping a tire iron behind the counter. That night, around 3:15 a.m., the knocking came again, but this time it wasn't from the door, it came from the side window. That window doesn't face the parking lot, it faces a tree line, maybe 50 feet from the building. No path, no reason for anyone to be out there. I looked over, and this time, I saw something. Not someone. It was tall, human-shaped, but the limbs were too long, like, noticeably long. It was just standing behind the tree line, barely lit by the red glow of our neon sign. Its face was white, too white, like paper or a mask. I couldn't make out eyes, just that pale oval staring straight at me. I grabbed my phone, but when I looked back up, it was gone. I didn't even wait for my shift to end. I called my manager and left. But for some reason, I came back the next night. Maybe it was curiosity, maybe I didn't want to look like a coward. But I told myself if anything happened again, I was done. That night was different from the start. The air felt heavier, quieter, like everything was holding its breath. Around 1:40 a.m., the lights above Pump 4 started flickering. Nothing unusual, those lights were old. But then I saw a figure standing there. Just standing under the flickering light, back turned, not moving. I stared through the security monitor. The figure was wearing what looked like dark clothing. Couldn't tell if it was a man or woman. They were completely still, not pumping gas, not walking toward the store, just standing. After about 10 minutes, I opened the intercom and said, "Hey, you okay out there?" No response. I leaned closer to the monitor. That's when I noticed something that made my skin crawl. The figure wasn't casting a shadow. Even with the light above them blinking, there was no change, no distortion, just static. I went to lock the front door. When I looked up, the figure was gone. But the Pump 4, was now slowly dripping gas. No one had touched it. I had had enough. I turned off all the lights inside, sat on the floor behind the counter, and waited for sunrise. At some point, I must have dozed off. When I woke up, it was 6 a.m., and light was leaking through the blinds. I stood up, stretched, and looked outside. There were footprints in the dew-covered pavement, leading from the trees, right up to the front door. But there were no footprints leaving. I quit that morning, never went back. But 2 nights ago, almost a year later, I stopped at a rest area while driving across the state. There was a small gas station there, same layout, same blinking lights, same flickering pump number 4. And through the window, in a reflection, I saw something tall standing behind me. Motionless, faceless, just watching.